welcome to Uniquely Wilmington. I'm Anne-Marie Meeker.
And I'm J.T. Turner. We'd like to take this opportunity to update you on some changes that have happened at WCTV and on Uniquely Wilmington. First of all, as many of our viewers know, our general manager, Karen M. Kirk, has left WCTV for some work down south. The board of directors recently appointed a young man, Sam Showerman, to take her place as general manager. And we'd like to take this opportunity to welcome Sam to WCTV. That also left our show, Uniquely Wilmington, minus one producer. Well, I'm happy to say that that role is going to be very ably filled by my co-host, Anne-Marie Meeker.
WCTV has also elected a new board of directors and officers for 1992. And those are Mike Nasepsky as president, vice president Phil Nowlin, I'm filling the role of secretary, and Charlie Gilbert will be treasurer. We also have Tom Barasco, Paul Dion, Ruth Durkee, Steve Komenchuk, Donald Leard, Jim Lyon, Edith and Jim Narduzzo, Andrea Skotopoulos, Cheryl Soderquist, and J.T. Turner.
Before she left us for Point South, I had the opportunity to sit down with Karen Kirk and chat with her about her experience as general manager of WCTV. Let's take a look at my interview with Karen M. Kirk, general manager. When I first moved to Wilmington a few years ago, I knew there was a local access station, but I didn't really know a lot about it. But as time went on, I started reading more about WCTV, watching it more often. And I heard a lot about a woman named Karen M. Kirk. She was always visiting some school, starting a new class, doing something new. And it's really Karen and her productivity that have brought a high profile to WCTV. As many of our viewers might know by now, Karen has decided to move on from WCTV for what we hope is greener pastures for her. Karen, I guess the best place to start is, what brought you to WCTV?
I've always been involved in access. Ever since I got out of college, I needed a career. So I went down to my local access center in my hometown, and I learned how to produce programming and how to get a career in access cable television. I moved on to Sudbury, Massachusetts, where I was the part-time access coordinator, and then this position opened up, and it was an excellent career move for me to be a full-time general manager of a tri-channel access facility in Wilmington. So it was an excellent move for me, and it was an excellent chance to start a studio that was in its infancy anyway. So I could really make this studio grow, and I was really pleased to be able to take the position.
Now, you've certainly helped the studio grow, no question about that. One question I have for you, which some of our viewers might be interested in, is what does a general manager do? Do you sit at a desk all day and push papers, or what's actually involved?
Well, I'm pleased to say that the board of directors have given me a lot of leeway to create my own position. I can either stay tied to my desk, I can stay tied to equipment, or I could have a nice balance between the two. And that's what I do. I not only do paperwork and update membership and garner membership by doing speaking engagements, but I also teach classes, produce programming, take out the trash, and everything in between. But I also have a technician under me who also helps me with those duties as well.
That's great. You've mentioned some of the things you've done to help promote the station. And if there's one thing I can say about Karen, she is the most unabashed self-promoter I've ever met in my life. But she always does it not just for Karen M. Kirk, but for WCTV. What kinds of things have you done to really bring this station up to a higher profile with our community?
Well, JT, it's always easy, I feel, to promote something you believe in. It's difficult to promote something and publicize something that you really don't believe in. And I've always felt very strongly about WCTV as being a fun, exciting, novel opportunity for people to produce programs and get their voices out. Some of the activities that I've done to promote the studio is I've targeted different age groups. With the schools, I've gone into the schools. I've spoken to teachers, students, and parents as well to talk about how they can get involved with the studio. I've also moved up into the high school as well, so we have different age groups for the schools.
Mm-hmm.
For the middle age group, I've gone to community organization meetings to promote the studio, and I've also gone to club organizations like the Rotary Club, the Lions Club, and the Kiwanis Club. I've also gone to the senior citizens, and they're very excited to learn something new and exciting. As well, I put out press releases and newsletters to the membership. So I really have tried to get the word out. A lot of people might not have heard of the station, might only know the station as being the rolling bulletin board. But I think that I've gotten the word out over the past year and a half that there is a community access station.
I would have to agree. You've done a great job at promotion, as I've said. You brought up another point that I think I've always been very interested in about WCTV, which is the involvement of the young people of Wilmington. You do a lot of work in the community schools. You do a lot of work with kids here at the station. It's not uncommon to come in and find a 13-year-old cameraman running a show. Why has that been such a focus for you?
Well, when I first got on board, the high school was right across the street, as it still is, and the board wanted to get the high school kids involved. We had a bit of a problem enticing the high school kids to come over, so I turned my focus toward the junior high and the elementary schools so that when they do get older and into high school, it'll be a natural progression to come over here. In that scheme of things, the high school students have started to come over. We have a high school class that meets the last period of the day with Suzette Hall, and they come by and they produce the programs and they learn how to edit. So slowly we're getting the high school students over, but boy, we really have the junior high and the elementary school kids coming over. And it is fun to see a child of 10 years old editing, directing, and producing their own programs.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do that when I was their age, and I think it's fascinating to see them do really well at it.
It's great, and I think it would be nice down the road to see generations that are involved in WCTV. Someone who started out here in grade school, kept with it through high school, and if they live here in Wilmington as an adult, introduce their kids into it. That would be great.
It would be a lot of fun. I'm hoping to see the 10-year-olds and 11-year-olds progress through junior high or middle school into the high school, and perhaps they'll look to communications and television as a career.
Let's take a bit of a walk back with you. As you leave WCTV, when you think back about Wilmington, the community, and the station, what are some of the most potent memories that you'll be carrying with you?
The most vivid memory is WCTV Week. WCTV Week was a chance to promote the studio very heavily, as well as introduce the third channel, which is the government access channel, 56. And it's also a chance this past September for all the members to get involved with the station, appreciated by the station, and a chance to get re-involved with the station. So my focus was not only on the people already involved, but getting the past members re-involved. We had a wonderful WCTV week, and it culminated with a Friday night Access Recognition Night. That allowed all the members to come down, and they had a nice party and a recognition by the staff here at WCTV. That was our most successful promotion of the studio, and we worked so hard at getting it just perfect that I really feel an affinity for it. And I look back at WCTV Week with pride.
This is not a perfect business by any stretch of the imagination, and you need a lot of humor to have Karen's job. Share with me, if you will, some of the things that have gone wrong over your tenure, whether it be
Nothing.
Nothing. This is a woman who just spent 40 minutes in hysterics before we turned on these cameras, trying to calm down so I could interview her. But nothing has ever really gone wrong.
I always tell my people, JT, and you know this, that if anything goes wrong, that's fine. It's community access. My goal is to have a good time, and I think that the board of directors recognized that when they hired me. I like to be professional. I like to put out a professional product, but my goal is to have everyone have a good time. This is a community organization. It's all volunteer for the people who come down. They have to have a good time. If a set falls on a person, if maybe the lighting doesn't look all that perfect, we try our very best. We try our very best on the most highly watched programs, such as selectmen meetings and school committee meetings. But we also try to have a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, things have happened and things have gone wrong, but we try to pull together and put together the most professional product, but while having a good time.
That's great. Karen, as you leave WCTV, I think anyone leaving any position thinks about leaving some sort of a legacy. As you look back at the 18 months or so that you've been general manager, what would you like to have people remember about the Karen Kirk years?
The Karen Kirk years should be signified from progress and professionalism. Progress is that the studio, when I first came down here, was not considered a very active place. It's gotten to be quite active with students, with elders, and with people in between. So the progress has really moved in a positive sense. So I want people to remember the progress, as simple as laying down all the rugs and buying nice office furniture, to the progress of the programs that are being regularly produced. I also want people to remember the professionalism of the studio. This isn't just a drop-in center where people come by and just hang out. It's a professional studio where you can produce programming.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be seen as a professional community organization that can be treated with respect and also a great source for community news and information. I want people to think of 30, 52, and 56 as a source for their community news and information and entertainment. So I want people to remember the professionalism of the studio as well as the progress that we've taken.
That's great. Maybe as a final act of your general managership, if I can call it that, there's still some people out there viewing us tonight who have, well, they've heard about WCTV. They might be mildly interested in the station. What kind of an appeal would you make to people to become more involved down here?
I would say take advantage of the station. We are not leaving you high and dry whatsoever. We have hired a production technician named Sam Sharman, and he can be reached at 657-4066. So if a viewer at home wants to take a class, Sam is teaching video production training classes on Saturday mornings, and he does have some openings. And the studio will be open during Sam's hours, and those are during the evening hours, 5 to 9 Monday through Thursday and Saturday mornings. And the reason we chose those hours for Sam is because if people are coming from work, they can come by the studio after work. So if you are interested in producing programming, I would tell people, come down and take a class and really utilize the studio. Just because I'm leaving doesn't mean the studio is going to die. I don't want people to equate me with the studio. The studio can hold on its own. I'm a coordinator, but the studio is the membership. It will survive. It will flourish.
I'm sure that it will, but I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that you have been instrumental in making WCTV the station it is continually becoming. And for that, we thank you.
Thank you. I am proud to take that compliment, but there were a few general managers before me and the board of directors and membership who had to go through a lot of the legwork. I came on board when I got to have the fun, but before me there was a lot of legwork that had to be prepared and the equipment had to be bought before we could have this enjoyment. So I was fortunate to come on board when I did. The next general manager, whoever he or she may be, will also have a very easy time continuing what has been built thus far. So I accept that compliment, but knowing full well that there were people before me who brought it to this point.
Talented and modest too.
No,
What more can I say?
no.
Karen, I know I speak for my family and for the WCTV family when I wish you all the very best
Thank you.
in
Thank
your
you.
future. Thanks very much.
And I'll send you postcards.
It's a deal.
Okay.
It's a deal. I've been chatting with Karen M. Kirk. Let's go back to the studio.
Thanks, JT. That was a great piece on Karen Kirk. She will be missed here at WCTV and also in the town of Wilmington. And we do wish her luck in all of her future endeavors. On a more serious note, Jim Lyons produced this next piece on the Wilmington Food Pantry. Let's take a look.
Hello, my name is Jim Lyon, and I'm coming to you from outside of the Wilmington Community Fund's commissary. In a few minutes, we're going to go inside and show you a few of the things that go on here, as well as talk to some of the people who make this project work. Hey, I'm talking with Bob De Palma and Jim Hatchie, who are the driving force here at the commissary. Maybe you guys could tell me a little bit about how this all got started.
Okay, thank you. Several months ago, and right now it seems like several years ago, it just seems like the commissary has always been going on, but several months ago, someone had approached me with an idea of maybe getting involved in a soup kitchen type operation here in the town. Through the community fund, we recognized that something had to be done to help out with the, because there was such a high unemployment rate in Wilmington. I talked to Jim about it, Jim being the president of the community fund, to see how we could become involved. And we looked into several operations. And one Saturday we went to Lexington to look at what we thought was a soup kitchen. Turns out when we went over there that it was a food pantry operation. We were very impressed with it. We saw that this is the type of thing that Wilmington definitely could benefit from. And so we decided at that point to bring it before our committee to see if we could make it work. And the result is everything fell into place so beautifully, probably because we got so much cooperation, not only from the town, but from the people in town. And you can see here today, Boy Scouts are having a food drive. They've had a food drive in Wilmington all week. The result is that they're bringing it all here today, and activity has just been fantastic.
Okay, now what exactly are the eligibility requirements for this?
Okay, well, number one, you have to be a Wilmington resident. If you're on welfare and are unemployed, collecting food stamps, or if you're basically having a problem making ends meet, and you have a problem, making a choice between buying food and paying for an electric bill or something like that, that's basically it. People need the help. We're here to do that.
And how would you gauge the response so far for donations?
The response has been excellent. The people in town have really turned out. Every Saturday we have 15 to 20 people come down, dropping off 300 to 400 cans of and boxes of cereal and so forth. They're really doing a very good job. Some of the organizations have already started. March is American Legion Month. They've already got a drive going this month, and so far we've collected over 100 cans and boxes of cereal and items like that. We've talked to the Kiwanis, the Lions, the Rotary. They're in the process of getting something started, and I know Jack Cushing was here a couple of weeks ago and dropped off, I don't know how many, but it was quite
Very generous donation.
Very generous donation of food, and it really filled our shelves up. So far the turnout has been excellent, and we expect it to continue. We hope it continues.
Okay, now all the food you accept here, is this all non-perishable?
Yes, basically what we're looking for are non-perishable items. Canned goods, baked beans, let's see, peanut butter, jelly, tuna fish, coffee, cereal. We don't have that many people that are looking for baby food. There are 2 or 3, and so far we've been able to provide what they need, formula and baby food. Items we seem to run out of frequently is coffee. Sugar and flour on occasion. Peanut butter and jelly is a popular item.
Cereals are also very popular.
And cereals are very popular. Most of the people that come down here do have quite a few kids. For instance, last Wednesday night, just to show you an average night. There were 21 people come down, and if we added up the numbers in the family, it totaled 84. So,
You mentioned, could I just interrupt you just a minute? You did mention, do we take non-perishable foods? At this point, we are equipped to take just about any type of food that's donated. We were fortunate enough to have 2 freezers and a refrigerator donated to us, so that whatever type of food someone would like to donate, we have a place to put it, we have a proper storage facility, and we can distribute it, and it will be put to good use. So we would just encourage anybody that would like to make any type of donation at all in terms of food. We also have some people who have not been able to donate food, but instead have donated money. All right? Now, the money has worked out fantastic because we use the money to buy foods that we are low on, something that has not been donated, that our shelves are a little empty of. We'll go out and purchase it. Now, with this, we've purchased items such as bread, margarine, peanut butter at different times, canned foods, whatever type of food there's a demand for that we haven't got on our shelves, we'll use the money to buy it. So we would encourage people to donate. Any type of donation we are prepared to accept.
Okay, now I understand you have different collection points throughout the town. Would you like to tell us where those are?
Yes. We are putting around town as many places as we can to make it convenient for people. Donation containers. We have one at the town hall in the town manager's outer office. We have one at the Shawmut Bank right next to Demoulas and Wilmington Ford area. We are going to be we have one at D&D Lock. We are going to be putting them in other locations too, wherever we're going to try and have about half a dozen containers in and around town to make it convenient for the people to drop off food wherever they want. And then these areas will then call us when the food containers are full, and we'll send somebody down to pick them up. And that's worked out very, very well. Okay. We also are trying a coupon program where we'll have coupons here separated and organized, and if anybody that is coming in needs a little extra assistance in the form of coupons, they're here, to take free of charge, of course.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, thank you for...
what if I could mention one more item?
Certainly.
We have had a very good turnout on volunteers. We have approximately, I think the latest count was 55 people. Our problem is trying to keep them all busy between the food pickup during the week, Saturday mornings down here, Wednesday nights giving out food. We're trying to get everybody a chance to come in and volunteer their time. So for the volunteers out there, we haven't called you yet. We apologize, but we will be calling you because we just had too many people volunteer, which is a problem every organization should have.
Okay.
They've been fantastic, the volunteers. I'm glad one of us remembered that, Jim. That was really very good. They've been the backbone of our success. Without an army of volunteers, we'd be hard-pressed to make this a success. And I think the community itself should also be congratulated, community at large. We have no way of keeping track of how much food has gone through the commissary. I wouldn't even want to venture a guess, but I know it's been a tremendous amount. It's all come from town. The town has just been tremendously supportive, and we really can't thank them enough.
I'll let you know the amount.
Yeah, I notice you have a list of volunteers who can pick up the food if somebody can't drop it off here. We'll be running those names and the numbers at the end of the program.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yes. Yeah.
We'll also be running the hours that you're open here and the different collection points around town.
Very good. If anybody has a special request, the schools too. We shouldn't forget the schools. The public school system has been very, very supportive, and they oftentimes will make their collections during the week. And if it's necessary that somebody has a food order they would like to have delivered here during the week, it's not convenient to make it on a Saturday or a Wednesday, we'll make special arrangements to make sure that we're open and somebody is here. So we've done that for the schools. They've just been very supportive also. The town really can be very proud of itself.
Okay. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm going to try to get a few interviews from some of your volunteers in the back. Okay, we have here some volunteers from the Boy Scouts and Troop 56, which, is, by the way, was my old troop more years ago than I care to remember. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing?
Okay, this is the Boy Scouts of America's annual Good Turn. It's called Scouting for Food. We do it once a year. Usually it's been in the fall, but our council decided this year to do it in the spring because everybody collects food in the fall for Thanksgiving and the holidays. The boys are given a collection of bags that they take home and they distribute to friends and neighbors and ask the friends and neighbors to put contributions of non-perishable food in the bag. The scouts then go back a week later and pick up the bags. And this year we've decided to bring them here.
Okay, sounds very good. Would you like to add anything?
Not only have we had the Boy Scouts, we've also had the Cub Scouts from Pack 56 and Pack 361 who are also involved with it, so it's not just the older boys. And it takes a lot for the Scouts to get out there and contact the public and, you know, ask them for the food and follow up on it. And we're very, very grateful to all the people who have taken the time this past week to donate to our drive this year.
Now, is this done by the Scouts actually going house to house?
Yes.
Do you set up outside of a supermarket? That might be a good place.
We haven't tried that. We did have one scout a couple of years ago who hung bags on every mailbox in his neighborhood and went back and actually found them all put back with food in them.
That's an excellent idea. Maybe we can get some of your Scouts in here. Wanna? Anybody? We got a bunch of shy Scouts. Okay, how do you like working for the food commissary here?
Oh, it's good. I put them out on people on my paper route, and they put the stuff out when I want it, and I bring it in here, put it on the table. They put it over there and on the shelf.
Okay. And any of you guys want to add anything? How about you?
Like Jay, I also gave the bags to my paper customers, and it's good help bringing them here to help out needy families who are in need of the food, and so they can eat and put food on their table for their family.
Okay, very good. That might be something for anybody with a paper route to try, and bring your food down here to the commissary where it'll be put to good use. The WCF motto is people helping people. All donations will be greatly appreciated. For Uniquely Wilmington, this is Jim Lyon.
Our thanks to Jim Lyon for a very timely and important segment. Now it's time for us to take a look at our regular feature, our monthly calendar of upcoming events.
April 8th is Candidates Night, hosted by the League of Women Voters. The evening begins at 7 p.m. at Shawsheen Elementary School. April 10th is the deadline for the Wilmington Good Guy 1992 nomination. Send vital information to P.O. Box 387, Wilmington, Mass. 01887-2002. The Town of Wilmington elections will be held on April 18th. Also on the 18th, the annual Easter egg hunt sponsored by the Recreation Department begins at 2 p.m. at the Glen Road Recreation Area. On April 21st, there'll be a pediatric and infant CPR non-certification course from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Regional Health Center. Call the Winchester Hospital Education Department at 617-756-2220 for more information. On April 30th, the Wilmington Chamber of Commerce will be holding a business-to-business exhibition at Shriners Auditorium. For details, call 657-7211. And don't forget, WCTV is always looking for new members and volunteers. If you're interested in helping out at WCTV or on our show, Uniquely Wilmington, please call 657-4066. Thank you for watching. I'm Anne Marie Meeker.
And I'm J.T. Turner. Good night.